I'm here with Michael Vellutato and Ryan Gelenitis, both of the phenomenal class of 2014 and the men's volleyball team, this week's EC Athletes of the Week. Mike, you had a great week, tallying nearly 11 assists and 2 digs along with a block a set as the team went 5-0. What were you seeing out on the court, and how were you able to get everybody involved offensively?
Well, we saw what our character really was, doing what we did. We came back from, I think, like 6 points against Madai, is that right?
Yeah, somewhere around
Something like that. To come back to 34-32. I mean, that was our best match, I think, of the whole weekend. And just, I love these guys as my hitters. I trust them with everything, pretty much. And after I had that kind of rough aspect of cramping on the court, they really backed me up, and I love them for that.
And Ryan, you had a big week yourself, averaging nearly 3.5 kills and a dig and a half per set. Kind of talk about some of your strengths this week.
Well, part of it runs through the setter. Mike had great location on some of his sets, and part of it was adjusting to the hitters on the other side of the net. Always throwing up a big block on the other side, so I really needed to focus on hitting high hands, trying to hit not necessarily through the block, but trying to hit my gaps, trying to hit off the high hands instead of trying to hit the ball straight down. So I think that's one of the big adjustments I had to make going into playing this weekend against teams who are maybe a little bit bigger than what we're used to seeing.
And you did a good job of that. And Mike, Saturday against number 13 MIT, you finished with 56 assists, so really spreading the floor there. That's actually your third highest assist total in your career here at EC. Can you kind of talk about that performance?
I didn't even know I said that many times. I only get assists if these guys hit it, get a kill, and God, they really did a good job, man. Proud of you. Those are your 56 kills right there.
And speaking of that, Ryan, in that match against MIT, you had 22 kills and 7 digs.
Oh, only 22.
The 22 kills were the fourth most for you at EC. Can you kind of talk about that game and what stood out for you?
As good as it was, I think I had a good hitting day in terms of hitting percentage. But one of the things I have to credit is we have to give credit to our middles, especially Chris Pierantoni, who doesn't really get as much recognition as he deserves. He's always there up on the middle trying to draw away a middle blocker and making my job 100 times easier. I can say the same about Dylan Kuhn and Andrew Johnson. Whenever those guys are in, they make my job so much easier when I only have to see 2 hands in front of me instead of 4. And the same thing applies to defense. When I'm playing defense behind 4 hands, it's a lot easier than when there's nobody up there. So you got to give credit to the middles. That I give them all the credit in the world for that.
Another thing about the middles, thank God they're loud, because that really gets into the other team's head. They don't know where the ball's going, and it just opens up the whole offense.
It's definitely a team game too.
Oh, yeah.
And then Mike, from a setter standpoint, you're not just a setter, you're also a great blocker for a setter, which is unusual. You had you averaged a block a set this week. Can you kind of talk about what makes your net play so successful as well?
God, I guess genetics mostly. I just try to jump high, and I really don't try to take it alone. But when we have a kind of a weak outside on the other team, I try to go to Rob Shade or Libero. I'm just like, hey, you know what? You dig the crap out of this guy, because if I don't get him, it's your job to back me up. And then we have Ryan defense over there, and it's just great to have them backing me up if we can't do anything. And again, it's not just me. The middles have a great sense of the court and just where the ball's going, and when they close blocks, it just makes our defense that much better.
And it makes things a lot easier when we know that their priority hitter on the other side's a middle. We have all the confidence in the world to say, Mike, you're going one-on-one with this kid, and we know for a fact that we'll be totally fine with just one blocker up against the hitter.
And finally, Ryan, talk about kind of the depth this season. Against Madai on Sunday, you guys had 4 different players with 10 or more double-digit kills. Have you ever been a part of anything kind of like that?
The depth on this team, I really don't think I've ever been a part of a team this deep. We have all the confidence in the world of everybody on this team. When Mike went down earlier and went down with some cramps, and we had Tyler come in and set for a little bit, I think he did a fantastic job. At times our passing was a little bit spotty, but I think that, given the position that he was put in, I think he did a phenomenal job. Going to other matches as well, I think we have all the confidence in the world putting anybody in at any position. We have great versatility from all of our hitters. Anybody can play pretty much any position. So I really do think that this is probably the deepest team I've ever been a part of.
And then to kind of wrap it up here, if you guys can give me just a quick sentence as what you need to do to kind of keep rolling as you head into UVC play this weekend.
We need to keep our heads. We got to take every team like they're top in the nation. That's how we did this weekend. Every team we have to play our hardest, our toughest, because we're not the biggest guys out there. We're not all 6'5" and can jump 30 inches, but we hold our own, and we play as a team, which is really what matters.
I think it comes down to maintaining our resiliency. There have been multiple matches where we're down 3 or 4 points late in the game. Instances when we're down 19-22, like 18-20, whatever the score may be. We're down late in the game. We still maintain our composure and we keep our heads and we able to fight back and end up winning the sets where some people already have written us off. So I think that's the main thing that we need to keep doing.
All right, well, thanks a lot for stopping by, guys, and good luck this weekend.